Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to share with you my entire Demeter fragrance collection. I have about 26 fragrances. I have them separated into little groups and I'm going to talk to you guys about them, what I like about them, and kind of talk to you about some of them that I don't like either. But if you want to know what I think about Demeter and the fragrances that I own, then keep watching. Now for transparency purposes, none of these were sent to me to review. In fact, I bought all of these, or my husband bought me some. This is like the only fragrances he'll buy for me. It's actually Demeter. It's the only ones he can actually stand on my skin and save like two. Now Demeter is a super ultra affordable line. They also have an extensive library of scents. Some of them are more novelty, some of them are very inspired, but at the end of the day, this house is a great way to supplement your fragrance wardrobe, and you can blend, you can mix and match, and you can have a lot of fun with them. Now full price for a 1 ounce bottle, you're looking at spending about, I'd say $20 full retail price, but you can find these a lot of times at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, sometimes Ross for like $8 or $9. In fact, I'd say half of my collection I actually got from those sites, and sometimes online too you can find really great deals. So this is a super affordable fragrance house. Now I have this separated, or the actual fragrances I have separated into two groups, one of my likes and one of my loves, and at the very end there's two fragrances that maybe even three fragrances actually, that I can't stand, that I'm going to be sharing with you and talking to you guys a little bit about that. But I just wanted to share these guys with you. Now, so this video isn't too crazy long for the ones that I like. I'm not going to be going into like extreme detail, so that way this video isn't like 45 minutes long. But when we get into the ones that I love, I'll probably be talking a little bit more. But if I don't have a review of any of these scents, feel free to request it and I'll be more than happy to review them for you. The first ones we're going to talk about are the Zodiac Series. I think I picked these up, yeah, I picked each of these up from TJ Maxx for like $13. I mean, a really great bargain on these guys. I have Gemini, Leo, and Virgo. Now, I'm a Leo, and I actually really like the way Leo smells. It's really fresh and light and slightly aromatic and a little bit sweet. It's a really, really nice scent. I like their inspired fragrances a lot because they tend to be less literal, and we'll get into that a little bit. And so it's nice to see how they tackle fragrances in a way that's more of an idea or a theme rather than a literal translation. So these are really nice. I also like to travel with these because if for some reason my bag at the airport gets confiscated, these are really affordable and I don't have to worry about a super expensive or a hard to replace like niche scent getting confiscated. These are again really, really easy to replace and they smell really good. So these are fantastic. Now I do really like these little guys too. They're a great way to just kind of like, again, supplement your fragrance wardrobe, or if there's like 3 or 4 scents you can't quite decide, these little guys are a great way to get them all. I have Patchouli here, which is really nice. Kitten Fur, which I actually reviewed. This is one of those kind of themed fragrances that's supposed to remind you of a soft kitten tums, and it's so nice. I really like this. And then we have Honeysuckle, which is great to layer or wear on its own, and then we have Fireplace, and I do really enjoy this one. Now the other ones from my like I have separated in two groups. I have the literal translations and the themed translations. So the first 4 we're going to talk about are going to be the literal translations. We have Orange Cream Pop, which smells like a delicious popsicle dessert. Very fresh, very creamy and juicy. I really like this one, especially if you love those types of desserts. It smells quite literally like it and I enjoy it a lot. Then we have Jasmine, Lilac, and Quinns. Now, the reason why I like these is these are great to wear on their own and fantastic for layering. If I want a little bit more white florals in my life, we have the Jasmine, but my favorite of the 3 is actually Quinns because this just smells like fruity and sweet, and it's just so good. It's a little bit tart, it's really sweet. It's just a fantastic, fantastic fragrance. So if you're looking for, again, like one of those like fruity fragrances, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on a fruity fragrance, this is excellent. Now the 4 we have for, as I reach over off to the side, hi, how are you guys doing? The 4 for the more themed fragrances, these are great, and one of them I wear all the time. So the one that I wear all the time is Salt Air, and I do not wear this on its own, but I love to layer this to give a fragrance a more summertime beachy feel. it's a great scent to utilize in that regard, a fantastic layering fragrance. We have Pixie Dust right here. This one is really sweet. It kind of smells like a sweet tart, but less powdery. I bought this at TJ Maxx. I think it was like on clearance for like $1.50, so I definitely picked this up. I find that this fragrance smells juvenile, like candy, super young, but it's fun to wear and it's fun to layer with. But if you have somebody out there who's really young, like a small child who's getting into scents and they just want to smell nice, and you don't want to invest in a lot of money on a fragrance, but you want something nice and fun, this is a great scent. Definitely recommend this for kids. It's just really fun and really cute, and I do like to wear it from time to time. The next one we have, our two are kind of similar. We have New Leaf and Wet Garden. My personal favorite is Wet Garden. It smells like you just mowed a lawn, but it's still cold and damp outside. I just really, really dig this one. But I do like both of these. So those are the ones that I like, and I do wear and utilize them more than you guys would think, but I tend to reach more for the other ones. So let's get into them. Quickly, just get it out of the way. These are fragrances that I talk about all the time that you guys already know that I love. I have 3 of the 4 Elvira fragrances. I need to get the 4th. It's one of the things I've been meaning to pick up from them. These are just gorgeous. So beautiful. Smell so much more expensive than what they are. And they're great fall, winter scents, great scents if you're looking for a date night fragrances, just fan-friggin-tastic fragrances. Definitely check them out if you want to. I definitely recommend them. We have Mulled Cider. This has been a part of so many lists for so many years. I really love this one a lot. It doesn't look like I've made a huge dent in it, but this is a real dent for me, and a little goes a long way with this one. So I do love this one and recommend it a lot, especially if you're looking for a fun fall fragrance. Gingerbread is another amazing one. As you can see, I got this one from TJ Maxx. I think I spent like $3 or $4 on this, and I was pleasantly surprised. It just smells so good. It smells like fresh baked gingerbread, and that's one of my favorite smells. So love this one, and this is one I wear more towards Christmas time. So I wear Mulled Cider more towards fall, so between like Thanksgiving and Halloween, or between Halloween and Thanksgiving. And then this one is like the one that I'll wear like towards Christmas time. Another one I wear towards Christmas time, and I talked about this before, is Christmas Tree. I love the way this smells. I've talked about this before. There's something very nostalgic, scent memory, just deep in my heart, love for Christmas tree smell. Like, it's different than other trees. It's a very specific smell, and it smells amazing. So Christmas Tree is a love from me. In fact, when I use through this, I'm gonna get the big bottle of it. Speaking of giant bottles, the other only giant bottle I have is actually Sunshine. This is such a pretty fragrance. It's so light and delicate, but it's not feminine. Men or women can wear it. I mean, you can wear whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. Fragrance is genderless. But if you want a light, very pleasant scent for anybody, Sunshine is glorious. And then again, this is another amazing fragrance to layer. It is just fantastic. I adore it. Now I have 2 fragrances here. The little guys, going from the big bottles to the little bottles. We have Bonfire and Honey. You guys know I love honey scents. And this is just a nice, sweet little thing to wear when I just want to smell honey. And I prefer the Bonfire over the fireplace. It smells a little bit more authentic to me. And then the last 2s for the love, we have Cranberry and Earl Grey tea. So I want to go into each of these a little bit more in depth. So first and foremost, I love Earl Grey tea. I have Earl Grey tea steeping in my kitchen that I'm going to drink after this scent. And when I talk about citruses, and I talk about how different citruses can smell different ways, I say that bergamot can lean as a creamy citrus. And the reason being is bergamot is what's used to flavor and scent Earl Grey tea. Now, I drink Earl Grey tea with cream and sugar. I prefer to drink most of my black teas, not all of them. When I get into my tea video, I'm going to talk about this. Most of my black teas with cream and sugar. Not a lot of sugar, just a little bit of sugar. And so when I think of that bergamot citrus, in my mind, it kind of reminds me of tea with cream and sugar. It makes things a little bit sweeter, still bright, but a little bit creamy as well. And I love it when people utilize bergamot in a way that kind of reminds me of that creaminess. It's not like lactonic, but it just kind of reminds me of tea with like milk and sugar, but still very bright, sparkly citrus. So really love Earl Grey tea because this smells to me like Earl Grey tea. Like you have that little bit of the black tea smell in the background. A great scent. If you love tea fragrances, fantastic scent to add to your collection. Again, super affordable. Now, the reason why I love Cranberry is because when I go into fragrances, like I was talking about Quinns earlier, that super kind of sweet, almost jam-like fragrance. What I like to have and see and smell sometimes is different variations of fruits and berries. Berries can come across as very sweet, very sugary, and what I like is a berry that is tart. So I like to smell tart berries in fragrances to add a bit of brightness. And cranberry is one of those notes that I don't see utilized a lot. So what I like to do is if there is a jammy rose fragrance that I love, and I love the composition of the jammy rose, but I want it a little bit brighter, a little bit more tart, I will layer cranberry with it, and it works so good. But the thing is you don't layer a lot. So if I'm an oversprayer. So if I'm going to layer my jammy rose fragrance, say I'm wearing my favorite jammiest of roses, and I spray it 10 times on my skin. I will spray it 8 times and 2 times with this, and generally where I will spray this is on my neck. So I'll spray the jammy rose everywhere else. This will go on my neck, and it adds a little bit more brightness and tartness. But since there's a lot of red fruits, like think black currants and cherries and, you know, raspberries in those fragrances, this will again add a little bit of tartness, but won't kind of ruin the composition of like one of those like jammy rose scents. So if you have a lot of jammy rose scents out there and you don't want to invest in another fragrance, but you want it to be a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit better for summertime, try cranberry. It's excellent. And I love it. It's so good. And I wear it on its own. It's good. It smells like, have you ever like taken like the cranberry jelly and you smell the can afterwards? That's kind of what it smells like. Or like really tart cranberry juice. Like it's just really good. I love it. So cranberry, obviously I'm talking way too much about this one scent, but it's just really nice and definitely a staple if you like to blend and layer, have fun with your scents. But one that not many people would think of, but I think is excellent. So before I go into my hates, I think I'm gonna go through these fragrances really quick and just kind of grab the 3 that I think would be best if you want to add some of these to layer with your fragrances. So let me grab this because right now I just thought of it and I thought it might be a fun addition to this video. So give me 1 second. So I grabbed the 3 fragrances that I actually wear and layer a lot that I'll recommend to you guys because why not? Obviously, we have cranberry here. I just talked about it. Number 2, we have Salt Air. Again, a great fragrance to add to your collection if you want to summarize or beachify a lot of fragrances without having to invest. You can't add this to every single one, but to white florals or to very light fruit scents or to maybe more aquatic woody aromatics. This would be a great scent to try and add and explore. So definitely recommend this one. And last and certainly not least is Sunshine. Again, this is a beautiful scent. It's bright, it's pretty. Again, it doesn't smell like a feminine fragrance, but it has a lightness to it that I think would be really good if you wanted to lighten up really heavy gourmands. So if you wanted to add a bit of brightness to, I would say, vanilla dominant gourmand fragrances, this would be wonderful. But now let's get into the fragrances that I hate. So the one thing about Demeter that I love is that they take themselves seriously, but they also don't take themselves seriously. They have a lot of novelty, and I mean novelty scents. So the 3 that I've tried, haven't tried them all, the 3 that I've tried that I hate, and I'm not saying like dislike, hate, like will not wear, will not buy. One of them I put on my skin and I immediately like tried to scrub it off, like immediate scrubber, are Black Pepper. That was the scrubber. Oh, I had a bottle of that. Could not wear it. Smelled like poison on my skin. Friend came over. She tried it. She liked it. Gave it to her. No, absolutely not for me. No. Pizza. Smells rancid. does not smell nice. Some people like it, most people don't like it. It's one of those novelty scents, and it just doesn't, it smells like old greasy pizza. Like, it doesn't smell like, it could smell like really bright and tart and a little bit fruity from the tomato, a little bit green. The oregano could add a bit of an aromatic element to it. They know, they went quite literally like pizza that, you know, you had at a party and then you like went to sleep and then the next day it's still on the counter. That's what it smells like. And lobster. No, we're just going to leave it at that. I don't think any woman or man wants to smell like fish. So we're just going to leave it at that. So those are absolutely despises. Like, no, absolutely not. But to each their own. If you are one of the people out there and you like their fragrance or you like those specific fragrances, then that's awesome. I do not in any capacity, so those will never be a part of my collection. Absolutely not. So yeah, that's it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my Demeter fragrance collection and my little impromptu layering recommendations in the middle there. I know that wasn't super good, but I kind of thought at the time, let's share this too if you guys are sitting through this video, get a little extra out of it. I do hope you like this video. If you have any of these fragrances that I own that you love, I would love to know what you guys think about them, or other fragrances from Demeter that you guys like and recommend. I'd love to know what you guys think. Fragrances you don't like from Demeter, I'd love to know too. Or if you have blending recommendations within Demeter's other fragrances, or Demeter fragrances you use to utilize and kind of emphasize and add a little bit of extra oomph to fragrances you have in your fragrance collection. I'd love to know what those layering recommendations are, so let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for dealing with my slowly turning this backdrop into a permanent backdrop. I'm trying to get this area set up because it's going to be my permanent area, so you're going to see things change and grow over the next few weeks. So thank you for dealing with that, and I hope you guys, most importantly, are all happy and healthy, and have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I will see you next time. Bye!